with his, right?
One eternity later.
I'm pretty sure I pressed dodge, but maybe I pressed it too late. Okay, new class time. Hello guys, welcome to my Tree Sentinel guide. In this guide I will show you how to beat the Tree Sentinel even if you are just starting out the game. Don't get me wrong, levels help, but if you follow this guide, you will be able to beat this boss right out of the gate. No puns intended. Let's get started. I will split this video into two parts. The first part is general advice. These are the things you should keep in mind when you're fighting this boss, and they will help you excel. The second half will be more focused advice on the winning strategy. The things that I did that helped me win. Do note that this guide is made in isolation. I did not look up any other sources or any other creators, so if you think there's a better way to do this, please feel free to let me know in the comments. Alright, tip number 1 is going to be attack cooldowns. You will notice that when I make a little bit of distance from the Tree Sentinel, he will go into this stance and do a charge attack, which I promptly dodge. Notice how I back up again and make the same amount of distance away from him, but he does not do the same attack. Instead, he does this leaping chase. This is because, like most bosses, the Tree Sentinel has attack cooldowns. So if you notice it perform one particular attack, you can be rest assured that he won't perform the same attack at least for a little while. Try and keep track of this while you're fighting him. Now let's look at your choice of weapon. Do not make the same mistake that I made when I picked the club. The club has poor range, slow attacks, and overall poor damage for those two negatives. You want a weapon that has good range, high speed, and decent damage. Keeping these things in mind, try to start out with a class that starts with a weapon with these properties, such as the hero or the warrior, which was my choice of class in order to beat this boss. Let me also quickly touch on shields. I think using shields against this boss is a bad idea because he does very high damage, and if you attempt to block that damage with your shield, I'm sure he would eat up a large part of your stamina, which means you won't be able to punish him anyway. So the best way to fight against this boss is to rely on your dodging, your iframes, and your knowledge of his attacks. Up next is your weight class. Make sure your weight class is below heavy load, because otherwise you will fat roll, and that is very dangerous against an aggressive boss like the Tree Sentinel. You should keep your armor light and minimal, because even with heavy armor, this boss will still kill you in 2 or 3 hits. Okay, for the last tip, we have lock on and orientation. Now you should always have this boss locked on so that he remains on the center of your screen and you can see what he is doing. But be careful that you don't orient yourself in a position where you either can't see him or you are trapped in a corner against an object that you can't move past. This is especially troublesome because the zone where you fight him tends to have these trees and the cliffside where you can accidentally be trapped in. My recommendation is to remain near the cliff, this rocky cliff that you just saw in front of you. Try and remain close to this because the field is quite open, the trees are still far away, and you have a lot of space to dance with this majestic beast. Oh, and before I forget, please don't panic roll. Panic roll will always lead to you dying. Be patient, look at the attack that he's doing, and then roll accordingly. It's okay if you mess up the roll, because at the very least, you still know the timing. Panic rolling will not teach you anything about his moveset and his attack timings. Okay, let's get started with his punishable attacks. The first punishable attack is his charge, which he will begin in this animation. When he does it, wait for the weapon swing and dodge inwards towards the direction which he's moving. If you do it correctly, the horse will push you in its direction and you can swing at him once or twice while he recovers. It is safe to hit him twice if you are on the shield side of the horse, but be careful, this will become unsafe in phase 2, where he starts to use the shield aggressively to slam you. If you mess up the angle of the dodge, don't get greedy. Take your one hit and start backing away, because he will have recovered and can start swinging at you before you can dodge. The next punishable attack is his rearing slam. Here, the horse will rear up at an angle and he will slam his weapon down towards you. What you have to do is you have to dodge towards the rear end of the horse, and he will be recovering for so long that you can get 2 or 3 hits in, depending on your weapon. Watch out for a variation though. If he raises his weapon over his head, then it won't be a slam, it's going to be a combo starter and you should dodge away. Similar to his slam, we have the rearing stab. The same concepts apply. He will rear up and stab with his weapon towards you. Just like in the slam, you dodge towards his backside or his shield side and you can get 1 or 2 hits easily before he recovers. Up next are attacks that you should avoid. These attacks either do high damage, recover fast, and leave you very small room to punish him. So the best way to deal with those is to walk away, avoid them, wait for the punishable attacks. Up first is the horse stomp, an attack that he will use if you are towards the front of the horse. The horse will rear up and try to stomp its front hooves on top of you. You can hit him once depending on your weapon, but it's very risky, and if this attack lands, it will most likely one-shot you. So the best thing to do is to dodge sideways. Up next is the leaping swipe. He can use this attack if you're backing away and looking for a heal, so be very careful and watch out for it. The problem with this attack is not that it's very dangerous, but that it has many variations that you could go into, and it can become hard to remember each and every one of them. So my rule of thumb is, if he ever does the leaping strike, you just dodge away from him so he stops the combo and goes into a different attack. Because remember, he has cooldowns. The final family of attacks I want you to look out for are his shield attacks, which will activate when he hits phase 2, which is below 50% health. These attacks are very dangerous and most of them can one-shot you, so do watch out for them. He can either do a shield bash, where he will try to slam the shield into you with some forward momentum, or he will do a shield slam, where he slams the shield on the ground, which creates a shockwave that can knock you off your feet. While you can jump the ground slam attack, he tends to vary between the shield bash with the forward momentum or the ground slam, which can throw you off and lead to some frustrating deaths. So my suggestion is, as soon as he hits phase 2, always make a habit of backing away after a few attacks, preferably 1. Because if you have some distance between him before he starts one of his shield slams, you'll be pretty safe despite him trying to mind game you with his 2 variations. Okay guys, that brings me to the end of this guide. I wish all of you good luck in your attempts against this boss. If this guide helped you, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. all of my clips were taken from my Twitch. The link to my channel will be in the description, so if you enjoy what you see, come and say hi. But other than that, I wish you all a good day or good night, and I hope you succeed. See you soon. Bye bye.